G'day guys, down the creek this morning. Thought I'd get out for a little tiny bit, have a little bit of a play. So the other day I was down here and I was getting a little bit of clay, and I got a little bit of gold with some mercury in it, and I thought I'm just going to work this area up and open it up a tiny little bit. So I got my little 6-inch sluice here set up, and I've got about half a bucket of material. So I'm going to try and run this using the Dream mat. I'm not using the Timu sluice today, and the reason is I'm hoping, see with the other sluice mat, the problem is if you get mercury, it's just going to get to the bottom and it's going to get out. It's actually going to leave the sluice. The sluice isn't going to capture it. But with the Dream mat, because it's rubber, it should, in theory, flow down. The mercury should drop in those cells, and the mercury should then stay there. So I'm not going to bother you too much with me running this and watching you feed this thing. We'll see what happens at the end, and we'll see if we've got any gold. Alright, so I ran that half bucket of screen gravels, and I did see some gold just right there, centre of the screen. Should be able to see a bit there, should be able to see another little bit down further. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any quartz, so we'll pan that out in a second. I'll just take this up here. Just moving a bit of decomposed bedrock, and I noticed on this end just a bit of a different type of material compared to the rest of the bedrock, so it must be like a contact layer. If I take this over here, I'll show you a bit better look of what was in there. Alright, you can see that. That is super mineralized quartz. You can see the quartz in there, all the mineralization. So I'm going to take that with me and crush it. So I'm going to let it dry out, and then I'll crush it down, and we'll see if there's anything there. Alright, I'm going to pan that sluice out, and we'll see if there's any gold in it. Alright, I thought I'll pull the sluice out and everything. I cleaned it all up. Well, I didn't clean up down there. I brought it all up here, and I went, that's enough. Not really going to get any colour here. Probably not worthwhile digging. And I'll spin these around. I'll show you what I got in the pan. I'm actually quite happy. Alright, look at that. I'm actually very happy with that. Not a great deal of gold, but when you find gold here, when it's sort of not too bad in size, because a lot of the time it's micro stuff, it really has a nice appearance. It's not really gonna... I'm trying to show you how reefy this stuff is. Oh, always changes the camera. It's tricky to get to zoom in, especially in this light. It's pretty overcast. But you should see some nice sort of reefy little bits of gold there. So I'm happy with that. A little bit of gold under that thing there too. And you'll see down, I'll put my finger there so I can show it. But so you can see it's gold right there. Me looking at it, it looks silvery, and you can see a little bit of silver starting to form on that little bit of gold. So that's the mercury. Alright, I might do another half a bucket, and hopefully it improves, or I get some nice bits like that again. Alright, we have the sluice set back up. There, should be able to see it's probably maybe a quarter of a bucket that'll screen down. Hopefully the material's getting, like, there's a lot of solid clay as well, so there are some gravels, like this gravel's just all stuck to the top part of it, but I am getting into some pretty nasty ground that takes a bit of work. But hopefully there's a few little bits of gold stuck to it as well. Not just these gravels, these are all very, very heavy, like a lot of ironstone and stuff in this material. But we'll see how we go. I will finish off that bucket because it's awfully fun doing this with one hand. And yeah, we'll have a look again and see what comes out. Right, so this one's been cleaned out for a little while. I think I can see a little bit of gold right about there. I'm going to just slowly lift this up. Ooh, that was not fun. Alright. Yeah, the bit of gold that I could see is second cell just at the top of the third one. So, and there is it. Right there. Hope you can see it, centre of the screen. One little bit of gold there. Oh, another bit there. Another couple of bits just there. Hopefully there's some nice flakes like in the first one under all this heavies, ironstone. Not really much black sand down here at Warrandyte. A little bit, but not much. Not say like somewhere else, but like some of the other creeks that are around. Not around this area, but when you go to the Golden Triangle and all that sort of stuff. Alright, I'm going to go back up there where the pan is and let's see what I can reveal. Alright, so I've done that second run. A little bit more gold. Not as chunky as the other stuff that I got earlier, but I've got a few bits of lead. Pulled everything out now. So I was prospecting just here. What's happened? I didn't film this, like I probably should have, but if we look down here at just how much water's coming down here now, like that's just where that rock is. There is where I had the sluice. That was actually holding the sluice. That's gone totally like up about 2 or 3 inches. And over here, I think I did show you this before. I pulled that rock out. You can see that rock. I'm just going to throw that back into me hole, which is just down there. And there, a lot of these rocks actually, these ones here, well, you can see them all up there. They're already up here, but what I will do while I'm here, I'll throw a few of these in here as well. Just a little bit of quartz. But yeah, just with the rain we've had this morning over the last few days, it's a funny place here. It all of a sudden, I've been here before and I've had, say, like a sluice sitting on a rock like this, and all of a sudden, boom, the sluice is flying down the creek, or the mat's flying down the creek. All this stuff here that you can see, even this rock, everything here was actually out of the water. I mean, like totally out of the water. Even all this material just here. You can see some of the clay that I've been dealing with, how quick that's mucking up. But I'll put this over here into the flow, and what it's going to do is perfectly fill my hole for me. But yeah, I reckon in the next, I'm going to put this stuff in the car. When I come back, let's just have a little bit of a look and see where the water is. And let's see how much it comes up. You can see it up here a bit further, how much it's flowing just up there. Alright, and I'll come back down here and we'll have a look and see what happens in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Alright, I was speaking with someone here the other day actually about this and talking about places where the gold can drop out and where to look, and not always thinking about the inside bend. So up here on the right, that is the inside bend. The creek goes around that way. Alright, so inside bend, a lot of people come here along the inside bend. Yep, when the water gets heaps higher, it's going to go over that rock, that bit of bedrock that's going across here. What that bit of bedrock's doing is, even though it is going to go over the top, what's going to actually end up happening is the gold that's traveling, bouncing along the bottom of the creek bed is going to hit that rock, and it's going to get shoved over here into this bank. So obviously it's going to slow down because of that rock. It's going to get shoved onto that bank, and hopefully a bit of friction is going to let the gold drop out, and you've got that fast flow through there. So all through here, you're going to have a gold deposit. Because it's clay as well, and it's really deep, because I was getting a lot of heavies, constant heavies. It's a good place where it isn't the inside bend, it's the outside bend, but it's somewhere where you're going to find gold. Always check everywhere in the creek. Don't just go, oh, everyone, because I'll tell you now, 99 or 95% of the time, people will come here, they'll look at a video on YouTube, oh, inside bends, look, this is where the main deposit is, this is this, this is that. And they'll go try there, and so would have 95 people before them. And the 5% that might try somewhere differently, get onto the gold, and these guys are just digging for nothing. So always keep in mind, always come and have a look at how the creek's going. You know, we'll look down this way. And you can see, again, you've got another rapid diversion just down here where there's a heap of flow, and it's actually cutting the bank out, making it wider there. Another place where it can obviously have a bit of friction and drop out. You know, people go, oh, behind that rock. Well, look behind the rock. Let's go down there and let's have a look behind this big rock, because we're going to dig this big rock. Because that's where, you know, the rock's shading the water. What's going on behind the rock? Not a great deal, is there? Not a great deal at all. Yeah, okay, the creek's another foot higher and it's going over that rock. But guess what? The gold's been bouncing in this layer here. It's dropping out here. It's going to hit there, it's going to drop out here more than it's going to drop behind that rock. And everyone's going to come and go, oh, there's a big rock, it doesn't move, let's dig behind it. It's not really where the gold's dropping out or where the gold is flowing. You got to think about where the gold is flowing, where the fastest part, it's the deepest parts of the creek, river, whatever it is. You know, you look through there as well, all down here, you'll see the water all rippling as it's going through here. This is a fairly shallow area. A lot of materials depositing here because it's widening off. All right, so you can see the ripples, widened area, gold will drop out. Let's go down here, and the ripples are going to make that gold bounce and drop. Here, it's smoothing out a bit more. Even though it's narrow, it's deep here. Same with this, you'll be able to follow those little bubbles. It's widened right off, it's slowing right down. Yeah, gold could possibly drop out there, but you've got to get there in the right conditions when there's no water flow running, and there's a possibility, depending on the ground there, that it's going to drop out. Somewhere like this, definitely worth a try. Gravels are dropping out there, especially after they're going through this sort of little section with the bedrock, maybe flowing fast. But I'll tell you now, if you actually dug down deep, and we're not talking just taking a few shovels, we're talking about going 2 or 3 shovels down until you hit clay, you're going to get some gold again. Don't have to dig the banks there, you're just digging in the creek. Just dig down, but make sure you fill it in. Make sure you fill those holes in. But I don't know if that's come up anymore, but I'm still packing up. So I thought I'd just share that little bit about the flow, where it's going. Don't always dig behind these big rocks because everyone will come. Don't dig in the obvious places that everyone is telling you to dig. Try your own stuff. Alright. So, hasn't just got over that rock just yet, but it's a little bit deeper. Definitely a little bit deeper. And I reckon in a little while it'll probably even get even deeper, but I am off. I might do a weigh-in if there's something to really show you on the scales, but I'm guessing maybe about 0.07 if I'm lucky, but probably closer to 0.03. But we'll see what happens. So, well, what I will say, but is Anderson's definitely flowing. Worth getting the sluice out and having a little run. And I have noticed some of the other creeks, the other 2 creeks, the better 2 creeks, I should say, really, have got a little bit of flow in them as well. But Anderson seems to be the one that goes pretty hard, or at this time of the year anyway. I'll just go up here as well, just for one little bit, and we'll have a look and see. So you got the fire track, obviously. No digging in the fire track. The best place I've found is after this fire track, just in here. So fire track's there, you got your rocks, they cross over. Just in this area has been pretty good. Not so much up there where people start making this really wide, or under here and undermining the bank. It's actually right in this centre bit, same deal. Main flow is there. When the creek's going fast and the gold's travelling in that main flow, it's dropping out in this area, right there, right there. But once again, you got to dig super deep. All right, I'm going to leave it there. And until the next time, unless I stop somewhere else, but yeah, until the next time, I will catch yous all later.